wanted to cover one other thing because I know we don't have much time left with you.
Sure.
First off, reminding people that you exposed how much the Sunrise Movement is being infiltrated and funded by Soros and Open Society and what they do. And it's kind of funny that they put this big corporations disguise their products as green. And it's like the hypocrisy. Kind of like how nonprofits disguise themselves as grassroots while over half their income comes from billionaire Democrat mega donors. Dude, just great. Ownership. Straight up ownership. And I had to call that attention to that. But after that, this was the big thing I wanted to talk to you about because nobody's really talked about this. Right here. Organizing for Justice and Justice Democrats getting $1.4 million in 2020 from Way to Win PAC. All right. And who's Way to Win PAC and where is this coming from? Working Families Party, which we know has got Democratic Party stuff involved. Largest known donor from Organizing for Justice, which is Soros. Way to Lead is also dark money. A lot of stuff. I know you've been on the Corbin Trent stuff. Is that the PAC that's paying Corbin Trent also Way to Win?
No.
Oh no, that's a different one.
It's not, but I mean, it's not. But Corbin Trent is a Justice Democrats co-founder, so I mean.
Might as well be.
It's that same shared. It's a shared mentality, 100%. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I've been on hiatus. I had to take a break, for a lot of reasons. Some of it was just because like I kind of got disenchanted with the way that journalism as a whole was going, right? But now that I'm back, I'm starting to kind of, look back into stuff, right? And of course, Justice, it's filing season, so Justice Democrats, I took a look at, what they pulled in this last year, and or this last quarter, I should say. And yeah, what do I see? Of course, right off the bat, $700,000 from Way to Win, $300,000 from their in-house dark money group, which is Organized for Justice, which, as we can see, is also funded by Way to Win. In large part. The Working Families Party also, look. So we're gonna get into a discussion here, a quick one about well, there's a reason probably why these and look, I'm not telling your audience anything they don't already know. And I don't think I'm telling anybody that follows me or most of my mutuals anything they don't already know. But you mentioned that people won't talk about this. That's because it's a branding thing. You're not gonna see people that made their money or made their living or their reputation off of sucking at the Justice Dem teat sit here and talk to you about the nitty gritty financial details about who is funding their near and dear progressives that are supposed to be, changing the way that politics works from the inside out, right? We're not going to do things the old way. We're not going to be, the traditional Democrat. Guys, they're doing the exact same thing that traditional Democrats do, and it's not even a debate anymore. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. As a matter of fact, so Way to Win, I think we should just start there. It is the darkest of dark money, right? So the PAC is funded by the nonprofit, and as most times they are, but you're also getting Democracy PAC money in there. That's George Soros. We're getting DNC mega donor Elizabeth Simons. You're getting lots of other like just billionaire after billionaire, millionaire after millionaire, and it's the same thing. And that's just a PAC. Like so, because the organization themselves have funded quite a bit of money into the Way to Win Action Fund PAC, which in turn will give the money to Justice Dems, other PACs and stuff like that. But finding out who actually funds Way to Win the organization is kind of difficult because it's not only are they a 501c4 that doesn't have to disclose pretty much anything, they also, are run out of a donor advised fund called Amalgamated Charitable Foundation. So there's like an extra layer of transparency there. Way to Win also has an affiliate called Way to Rise, which, for every 501c4, there's a 501c3, right?
Of course.
Two sides of the same coin. So the 501c3 for Way to Win is called Way to Rise, and that's a little bit easier to track. They got like Way to Rise took over $9 million from Ford Foundation in 2021, and they have also taken money from Open Society, and like lots of other um, you know opaque billionaire funded dark money sources. And it's funny, it's not just that these are just random billionaires. In a lot of cases, like Soros and Simons, specifically in this example, they're huge DNC party donors, right? They're funding all of the corporate Democrats that you're supposed to be fighting. So are we supposed to believe that you are going to take your money from an organization funded by the same people that are funding all of the people that you said you're trying to replace?
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense whatsoever, and the proof is right there in front of you. And the same thing, Organized for Justice is a simply 501c4. The only thing we know is that they took 250 grand from Soros in 2019, and then they've taken 1.4 million from Way to Win last year in 2020. Because all this nonprofit stuff is always a year behind, and you know, so it's all dark because we don't know who's giving you the money. That's what makes it dark. And
You've
then
got this Tides advocacy group. Look at this: $500,000
Tide.
in October, another $500,000 back in February, and then another $2 million in May. I mean, that's $3 million in 6-8 months.
So yeah,
What do they expect out of that?
Well, there's the Tides Foundation, right? And of course, they've got the Tides Advocacy Group, which is their 501c4 arm, and that's the one that shells out all the money to super PACs and to other 501c4s like Sunrise and stuff like that. All the so-called grassroots organizations, right? That all trickle up into basically the same 3 or 4 major nonprofits that are funded by like the same dozen people that you see at the top of every donor list every time you research such things. And that is basically where the Working Families Party is too. So like I got somebody didn't believe me, which of course happens all the time whenever you shoot down somebody's idol. But I had a so-called supposed monthly donor to Working Families Party at me, basically saying that I was a joke for implying that billionaires and millionaires are the ones funding Working Families. I'm a working man, and I've been being a monthly donor to Working Families Party for years, and I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but a quick look at it, and it's easy to see that you're still getting like Pritzker, Susan Pritzker, millionaire, Katrina Schaefer, millionaire. You're just getting crazy money from Working Families Party. It's got a history of taking money from DNC party mega donors and their affiliated foundations. Like I could go into that for forever, but I don't need to because
No.
I've touched on it in the past. You can scroll through my Twitter feed, you can search it. I've done it a million times. I've said it a million times. Working Families Party is funded by anything but. And I feel bad for people that get hoodwinked into donating to organizations like that because they literally in the name are telling this is the party of working families, by working families, for working families, right? But probably, in all honesty, they get most of their funding from dark money sources and the billionaire class. And the working family is just the icing on the cake that basically thinks that they're pooling their resources with other people just like them, but they're actually just padding the books for people that keeping them underneath their boot year after year. And it's kind of like it's kind of a sick practice. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, so Justice Dems just raking in the dark money, man. And you're not going to hear many people talking about this because their brand is, Justice Dems good, everything else bad, and there's no room for any objective, criticism going on right here. Because why would you want to lose followers? That's way more important than being honest.
Well, and it's nonprofit, which is how they wash all of this through. But nonprofit only really makes it a write off for for the billionaires themselves, so that they can then deduct that from their income and from their taxes and from their businesses.
Oh yeah, and then they can call themselves a philanthropist.
Right, and they get and they get the influence machine down to that level, so they can pull somebody aside. Then you end up with Stacey Abrams and working for the Bloomberg Foundation, for example. 100%, man. Okay, so everybody follow Robbie at Robleto Fire, Robleto Fire. You see him up on screen here. I'm going to put up all of his tweets. Okay, I'm going to have a link to all the tweets here that I'm sharing is going to be in the Substack after the episode's over. I'll go back and I'll edit it. But again, dude, like, I really appreciate you coming on today. Again, glad that you're back. We need reporting like this. Looking at the filings, looking at Nancy's filings, and looking at her income stuff, looking at Soros and following where he's putting his money into charitable foundations, and also, by the way, Pierre Omidyar. That's something else I want to talk to you about next time. Is we were looking into Breaking Points, we're looking into The Intercept, we're looking into Pierre, we're looking into their whole influence peddling and the PayPal mafia. I know you've done some work on that. But we're gonna get to that next time. Again, I really appreciate you being here. I want to be respectful of your time, and I love you to death. And again, I just appreciate you giving us the time tonight. And everybody, go follow, go subscribe. Politify News is Robbie's Substack. It's at Jaeger.substack.com. Again, I'll have all these links in description later on. This was kind of last minute, so I didn't have it written in, but we'll have it all hooked up. And again, you're the man. Love having you here, and appreciate your reporting. And you're welcome back anytime you got stories. We always want to hear from you. So again,
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on and like giving my stories a platform. And like it's not always about like the reporter, even though it does help, but some of these stories, literally like the colonial, I would trade every story I've ever broke if people gave a shit about the colonial pipeline thing. You know what I mean? Like
would be nice.
Now.
I feel you.
So I appreciate you guys giving me a chance to talk about that, and hopefully next time I'll have a little bit more time blocked out so we can get some more stuff.
Absolutely.
Again, guys, I really appreciate you guys and what you do. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool,
no problem, man.
We're going to switch the thumbnail for a minute. We're going to cut off mics, and then we'll be right back, and we're going to do some technical stuff so we can hook this back up. But thanks, everybody. We'll be right back.
You'll stay right there.
Hang out. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.